everyone.
Night owls came to see this film. How did you get the part of Linda Lowe in Flower Drum Song?
Well, I was in the right place at the right time. Yeah, actually, I was at a party, and I had finished. Flower Drum Song is my second film, and I just finished Water with Susie Wong, my first film. And I was at this party and hanging out with my friends, and suddenly this man comes up to me and he says, "You Linda Lowe." And I went, "What?" And he says, "You are Linda Lowe. I'm Ross Hunter, the producer. I'm making a film called Flower Drum Song, and you're perfect for Linda Lowe." And that's how I got the role. Then the next day, I received the script, Flower Drum Song, and that was the easiest job I ever got.
Have you seen the Broadway musical? Have you seen it on
No,
Broadway?
of course I heard about it and had friends in the Broadway musical, but I've never seen it, and I thought, no, I'm not gonna see it before I make the film.
So it would
So
be
I made a
fresh.
point not to see it.
Not to see it, so it would be fresh.
Yes,
Is this, when it was released, was this the first film with an all-Asian cast?
yes, exactly.
Exactly.
Yes.
That is historic.
This was the first film with an all-Asian cast made at a major studio.
Made it a major
Yeah, so
studio.
we were all very excited about it, and.
So you knew it was historically significant,
Yes, very much so.
but not 100% all Asian, because Juanita Hall is in
Well, yeah, we consider it Asian.
it. She played Bloody Mary, it's not
Yes,
Pacific.
that's right,
But
that's
the
right.
truth of the matter is, she was black.
Yes, that's true.
She was black.
Yes, she was.
Now, was there any issue because Miyoshi Umeki, enchanting performer, Japanese,
Yes.
is playing a Chinese character? Is that an issue? Was that an issue? Is it an issue?
Not really, you know, in those days, I mean, when you said, we made Flower Drum Song in the early 1960s. And no, I don't remember it being, I mean, I knew she was Japanese, and she had played the role on Broadway,
Yes.
I think. So, no, I wouldn't say it was an issue. I don't know about today, but no, in those
Not
days,
that-
no,
It
it
wasn't
wasn't.
an issue.
And she was great in the film, so,
She originated the role on Broadway.
On Broadway,
She
yes.
sang herself.
that's right.
And she was an enchanting performer.
Yes.
And she won the Academy Award for
Yes, I
Sayonara.
know, that's
The
right.
first Asian to win an Oscar.
Cesar Hayakawa, I think, way before that.
Did he win an
He
Oscar?
won an Oscar, I think, for Socorro, maybe not for Best Actor. I'm not sure, I'm not sure.
But
But
very
it's
few.
very few
To
Asians.
this day, very
That's
few.
right,
To
that's
this day,
right.
Very few.
That-
Now, you were a trained dancer, and you have some great dances in this film.
Yes.
Your choreographer was Hermes Pan.
Yes.
Tell us about him and tell us who he worked with.
Oh, Hermes Penn was one of the greatest choreographers. He worked with Fred Astaire in mostly all of Fred Astaire films. So when I first met him, I remember we had 6 weeks of rehearsal preparing for the film, for Flower Drum Song. And one day, and Hermes always stood by the piano. So one day I'm doing my number and I'm dancing, I'm looking in the mirror and everything, checking myself out. And I look over at Hermes and I see someone standing over there. And I looked again, it looked like Hermes, but it wasn't. It was Fred Astaire.
Oh.
And I went, Fred Astaire's here watching us dance. And by that time, all the dancers behind me, they had seen it was Fred Astaire. I don't know how we finished the number, but we did. And Fred Astaire was so gracious and such a gentleman. I got to know him quite well. He became a friend and was a wonderful man.
Because you were ballet trained, you're not doing ballet in this film.
That's why,
Did you have to work hard to change your approach?
yes, Hermes worked with us on that. he knew I was a ballet dancer, and he said, this is jazz, Nancy, but it's okay, I mean, transition, we're a dancer, so it wasn't that difficult for me anyway.
But I enjoy being a girl, which has come into a lot of criticism from feminists, you know. That song would give a person like Gloria Steinem a heart attack. but that doesn't bother you, right? The song is charming, I enjoy being a girl.
Rogers and Hammerstein, you can't go wrong with that.
Really?
Of course, I enjoy being a girl.
If you want to be humorless, you can criticize the film. It's not, the lyrics not politically correct.
Anything, I
You
mean,
could do
whatever,
that, right?
yes, you could, actually.
But was that number challenging to film? You had to play all different characters in a mirror. It was very complicated.
It was complicated and very, but maybe today not so, but in those days, you know, we had to do there were 3 mirrors, and every time, I remember us maybe the cinema photographer said, Nancy, don't reach out too much, because you're going to go out of frame into the other mirror. So I had to do my turns and making sure that I didn't go over into the 2 other mirrors on either side. It was very challenging, technically. And I remember we shot the whole day. It took hours to do, and finally we got all the shots in that number. And I go home, and Russ Hunter calls me up, and he says, Nancy, I'm sorry, we'll have to shoot that number again. I said, what? I said, why? Well, they had a fly in the gate or something in the calendar, and we had to redo it the whole the next day.
Grand Avenue is a spectacular number, thousands of dancers, and one of the biggest sets ever constructed in Hollywood.
Yes, Universal.
Universal, a
Yes.
huge set.
It was a huge set.
How long did it take to film that extraordinary number?
I think a few days, because there were a lot of complicated dance scenes in that. So it did take us, that's why we did it. Instead of going to San Francisco, they said we're gonna build a set, the largest set they've ever built, and shoot the number in the studio instead of going up to an actual location.
But location would have been wrong for this film. It's a musical. You want something that looks a little artificial,
And
a
also,
little
you
removed
can
from life.
control, you know, with cinematography and everything.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
But you have said, not your favorite song in the movie is not one of yours, but Love, Look Away.
I love that song, and that was played by my friend, Ray Rosato.
It's a dream sequence which they love to
Yes,
have, and
that's
Rogers
right.
Hammerstein had dream
And
sequences.
she was a dancer and a wonderful person, and she passed away much too young, but fabulous. That number is fabulous. It's my favorite song.
The score is fabulous.
Yeah.
It's often underrated as a Rogers and Hammerstein show, and people say, oh, it's dated or it's stereotyped. It seems to, I can't speak, but it seems to me a truthful representation of Asian generation clash, culture clash, East-West clash. Isn't that all realistic? It could be any ethnicity.
Exactly.
Older generation, younger generation.
Exactly.
I mean, there's something very truthful about
It
this.
is, and you're right. It could be any nationality.
Any nationality.
Yeah.
And it was written by C.Y. Lee, a Chinese man.
Yes.
Who lived over a nightclub when he wrote the book. That's why.
That's right.
Your character is a lot of fun, and you enjoy her. She's a
Yes.
modern woman, she's clever, she's sexy, she's sassy, and she knows what she wants.
That's right.
So the perfect part for Nancy Kwan. I think it's a terrific film. Henry Koster, your director,
Yes.
superb. He comes from Germany. He had a Jewish man. He had to
That's
escape
right.
from the Nazis. He knows what it means to be an
Yes.
outsider.
Yes.
I think he must have brought that to the film. And interestingly, the film starts with illegal immigrants, which now has a different connotation. But illegal immigrants comes importantly at the end of the film too. So it's rather timely. It's not dated at all. It's timely.
Irene Sheriff did the costumes for that, and she was
Fabulous. You make a very poignant comment in your book, and we'll end with this. But you talk about prejudice against Asian Americans. but you said there were 3 people you worked with who also lived with prejudice and who were the object of some, not scorn, but they felt they had to guide their lives or guard their lives. Hermes Pan, Irene Sherrill, and Ross Hunter were all gay at a time when they felt they couldn't be open about it. And you mentioned that you feel bad that they had to be covered.
But they were wonderful people.
But I thought it was kind of you, humane of you, to extend your compassion to their circumstances. And so on that note, this is a terrific film. I can't wait to see it again. Nancy Kwan,